Hey everybody, it's Ben in beta and I'm back with Collin. It's been about 2.5 weeks since Collin was here last time. So I guess really quickly, how's everything held up with the rinseless wash that we did 2.5 weeks ago?
Yeah, it's been really good. Like we've had a lot of rain, windstorms, like the whole 9 yards, and it still looks like I wouldn't even wash it right now. Like I'd be like, yeah, looks good. I mean, we're actually looking at it right now, but I'm like, yeah, like still looks shiny. It beat it up really well. Like something I've never noticed too is like having the beading on the glass, because I've never like waxed, you know what I mean? It's like I'm used to just like waxing on, not doing my windows, but it's like the whole car beaded up great. So
the ceramic sealant worked really well. So we used both DIY Details ceramic gloss, and we also used Clean by Pan. I think the ceramic gloss is what was on your windows for the windshield, that kind of stuff. So yeah, both great products. You liked the Pan stuff better, so we're gonna finish everything today with Pan, but we'll get to that in a minute. So definitely check out that rinseless series, because those 3 videos are out, and you should just look at what we went through there, what it's like to wash as a beginner, and the products that we chose. We walked through everything, and we tried multiple different things on that vehicle. And in the 3rd installment in that, you picked the products that you were gonna buy, basically, right?
Yep.
So when Collin was here a few weeks ago, we went through everything he would need in order to do a full wash as well. To do a regular wash, you're gonna need a hose, a pressure washer that can have a foam cannon attached to it, because you're gonna need to foam your vehicle. You're also going to need a bucket to be able to wash everything with, as well as some wash mitts. You're also gonna need a soap, and we are looking at pH neutral soaps here today, just something nice and easy, but something that will also foam in a foam cannon. And you're gonna need some towels to dry, as well as some kind of a drying aid, which could be anything from a ceramic spray like we're gonna use today, or just a simple detailing spray, just to make sure that when you're drying with your towels that you've got enough lubrication there, you're not scratching anything or marring the paint during the drying process. Now let's get back to what we're going to be doing today. Where we went through originally all the things you need to be able to do a pressure washer detailing of your vehicle. And your budget was about $500 for both the rinseless and for the pressure washer setup. And we spent about $100 on the rinseless.
Yep.
But some of those things that we use there, like the towels, the ceramic, that kind of stuff can be reused. So we don't have to buy that again in this setup, which is kind of cool. Even if he upgraded to any of the things on here in any combination with this Westinghouse pressure washer, he would still stick under that $400 or right at that $400 mark, no matter which way you went. And there's lots of things that would save you money on here as well. You might be a little bit over if it was taxes included in that. So one tip I would give you is if you purchase anything from the House of Rags or DIY Detail and you use my code Ben in Beta, you save 10%, which basically saves you in the taxes and keeps you on budget.
Yep.
So you can do that same thing too. Use code Ben in Beta if you shop at the House of Rags or DIY Detail. And if you buy anything on Amazon and use my links, that does help with the channel, but you don't pay any more. So that's helpful as well. Before we get into all this, you can see there's a ton of things here. It takes a lot of time and effort to set these things up. And I appreciate all of Collin's patience and time that he's spending with me here as well. But don't forget to like this video if you find anything here helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that so you don't miss the future videos on what he's picking at the end, because we're gonna go through at the very end and he's gonna say, I think I would do these things for sure. This is what I'm gonna buy for my setup from a complete beginner.
Yep.
And then share this out with anybody else who's might be interested in detailing and is brand new as well, because I think these are the types of videos that are helpful for people who are just getting into it and aren't sure where to even start.
Sure, no, and it's super intimidating. It's like, whoa, there's so many different products, and just being able to like feel and test everything. Like
you want to spend your money in the right place, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And then we do have some wash mitts here as well. They range from like $10 up to like $25 for a pack of 2. But one thing happened between last time and this time, and that was the Ryobi system came out. This is the automotive pressure washer. It's been crazy on the internet. That's actually one of my videos that has the highest amount of views. And the reason for it is they're giving you some upgraded accessories for $150. So the Westinghouse, about $120, maybe $110 if you can get it on sale. You're gonna get a 40-foot high pressure hose with this system. And it works pretty well. I did set this out in the sun today, which is a good tip for these to make them work better. You do get a foam cannon, just like all the other foam cannons with these systems. It's not amazing, but it does put foam on your vehicle. Then I think the craziest part is you get a shorty gun out of the box, which is something you wanted to upgrade to.
Yep.
You get some pretty great tips here as well. the 40, the 15, and the 25. And they even have the covers on them, which a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
That was funny. I came here right after work and Ben's like, hey, check this out. And I saw this and I was like, everything we were looking at in one nice combo.
An angled lance as well. And this is built for beginners. So I'm also excited to see what Collin has to say about it. So we're gonna see all of those things today. He's gonna get a chance to try everything in every combination. But we're gonna use all of those, test those out to see which gun he likes once you put pressure on it. And then we're also gonna test all the foam cannons out. And we have 5 soaps today. What I'm doing here is every one of these is gonna be mixed at 2 ounces for 900 milliliters of water. They're all gonna be the same. You'll get a chance to see, like, if I use that mixture, how does each foam cannon perform? You use more soap, you're gonna get more foam. So you can use almost any one, and it's gonna be pretty decent, especially among these aftermarket ones. What is gonna be different about the aftermarket ones is you can use less soap and get really good foam, potentially.
Yep.
They may also last longer with the same solution, so you're gonna get really good foam using less solution from the bottle, meaning you can go around your vehicle more times, because you're gonna, in this wash that we're gonna do today, it's gonna be a little bit more of a process than the rinseless. We're gonna do chemical, which would be foaming, rinsing, then we're gonna do chemical again, which is foaming a second time. Then we're gonna do the contact wash while the foam is on the vehicle. Then you're gonna rinse, then you're gonna dry. And when you do this method, you do need to have either a detailing spray or a ceramic spray, something like this. You have to have something like that because you've now washed all of that soap off, which we didn't do with the rinseless, right? The rinseless was still on there. So you do have to have something, at least a detailing spray. But we're gonna use this because you really liked it, and we'll put it on the whole vehicle this time, and you'll get to see how it performs until next time, whenever that is.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's a lot, but I have mixed all that stuff up. I'm excited to get this started. I guess the first thing is, do you have any questions?
No, I don't think so.
Are you completely overwhelmed?
I'm completely overwhelmed.
That's
I'm like,
great.
Okay, like.
Any of these things that are on this table, if you decided to go that route, like you want this pressure washer, you didn't upgrade anything, you picked any one of these soaps, your vehicle's gonna get clean and it's gonna look good. I can promise you that. It's not gonna be an issue. It's gonna be more about feel, what you like there, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Anything beyond what the basic pressure washer is gonna give you is just really about upgrading, making the experience better, making it more fun, maybe taking less time, that kind of thing.
Cool.
So anything on here, you're gonna be happy with. I will also have links in the description for everything, so don't worry about what's going on, but I will tell you what we're using when so that you as the viewer also know what's going on. But for viewers at home, this is my advice. Pick a soap, try it out for a while, see how you like it. If you don't like something about it, then try something new. But if you really like it, it's okay to stick with that. All right, so the next step for us is to hook everything up here and get some gloves.
Gloves, yep. Gloves are important.
All right, so we got our gloves on. We are going to start with the Ryobi in this case, because if he decided this is like all I would need, that would be something that's interesting. And I'm gonna have water and power to both of them so we can actually switch back and forth.
Cool.
If you want. So like once you've done that kind of a baseline, like, cause I think this is like where people would start now, automatically like, hey, this has everything I would need. So then we'll start with that and then move up from there.
Cool. Oh, let's get at it.
Let's do it.
Like, hats off to the product manager of this. Just like,
They
at
really-
least on paper, it's like.
They hit a lot of marks. There is no doubt about that. Here's your feeling for that there.
Okay.
And let me get some water running through it. So we'll make sure, as we always should with pressure washers, anytime you hook anything up, new tip, new foam cannon, everything, you point away and you make sure that it's all connected well.
Okay.
So only 40-degree tips today. Make sure the water's going through it first. So go ahead and pull the trigger. We haven't turned the system on yet. We're just getting water all the way through and trying to get all the air out of the system so it doesn't surge, essentially. So why don't you walk around a little bit of that and see what you think of how that hose is. Well, you can keep running it for a little bit, just to keep letting that water come out. Feel like I can get all the way around the vehicle, all right? Yeah, and then I would, I probably would uncurl it all myself.
Sure.
Just to make it easier, because then you're not gonna catch. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad. I thought for sure it would.
Yeah.
Bind up, but yeah, that'll get me around the car, no problem. Yep. So yeah, hose not bad. Like, got all the way around. Feeling it, I was like, yeah, it feels a little like coax cable, but
almost everything's gonna be this way. It seems a little bit thinner, but it is pretty pliable when it is warm, especially.
I got around the car.
You got around the car. It is starting to
get a little crazy.
But not too bad. Let's turn it on, and then we can see what you think about the gun.
Okay.
And kind of go from there. All right, just again, make sure the water's coming through okay. All right, let's put the tip on and see what you think. Again, pointing away.
Looks good, yeah.
So that's what that system is gonna feel like right out of the box. That's what you get.
Yep.
There are other tips if you need them, but 40 is usually what I'd use just to do the job as quickly as possible. 25 you might use like on wheels and stuff, but yours again are really, really clean at this point.
Yep.
What do you think?
For a small little unit, I'm impressed. Like, it's got pretty good pressure to it. Again, I haven't tried any of the other ones, but right off, like, yeah, I'm definitely like, it's coming back into my hand.
You can feel it.
Yeah,
yep. There's a kick. All right, let me get the Westinghouse set up and then
Cool.
We'll see what you think there. Since you chose the $90 gun, we'll go ahead and connect it right away.
Cool.
And then I'm curious, talk people through what you're feeling and seeing with these differences between the two, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Again, like, the hand feels better on the McKinnon's, like, or McKillen's. Like, it definitely, it's more ergonomic. It's better designed than the Ryobi. I'm only gonna use this for a few minutes at a time, so.
And then you might wanna, that's why we test, right?
That's right.
And then again, walk around with this
Hose.
setup, this hose, see what you think of it.
I'll go straight out.
This is about 10 feet longer.
Okay. Yeah, that extra 10 feet's kind of nice.
Yeah, you can get all the way around the
You can get
vehicle.
all the way around.
Let's turn this one on and run some water through that. And then this is the 40-degree tip that you get if you do a review for this system, because it normally uses the 25-degree, but that's fine. I'll let you put it on there, actually.
Cool.
So one of the big things about the McKillen's gun is you do have storage for the tips. We had talked about that. You kind of like that feature.
Yeah, that is nice.
All right.
Feels comparable. It's about, that one on? Yeah,
I just turned it back on,
cool.
so we're good.
I'm gonna switch hands just to,
Yep.
it feels the same, but I think the Ryobi has a little more pressure.
Yeah, I think it has a little bit bigger orifice on it.
Gotcha.
Which is why we're seeing some of that.
Yep.
What about trigger pull, all that kind of stuff, because that's important. And then how does it feel to hold the trigger in as well?
Yeah, so this is a lot smoother, the trigger pull. Like, it's a little bit shorter throw. This, you feel like you're hanging on onto a cliff. You know, It's like, it goes out a little too far. But I will say, not bad.
Remember, this is $90 too. So.
Yep, there's a difference. You would expect there to be a difference.
There should be.
Yeah.
Brass is fine, there's nothing wrong with it, but this is brass, that's stainless steel, so the corrosion's gonna be less on that kind of thing.
Yep.
But they both are gonna work just fine for probably a long term, you know.
Yep.
You can't see us on camera anymore, but the McKillen's also has a swivel on the bottom where that one does not.
Yeah, okay, that's nice.
Again, you didn't notice that right away, and you might not notice it as a new person just getting into detailing, right? I guess we might as well try the other guns then against that.
Yeah, yep. I think that's worth it.
Release the pressure a little bit from the trigger, and then it'll come off. All right, so we have the Active as well and the Yamatic. This is $40, so $50 less than the McKillen's. This is all brass as well, so it is more similar in construction to some degree, except you might notice a weight difference, I think, between the two.
Yep, definitely a little heavier. Yep. Don't judge me on my quick connect abilities. Actually feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a decent amount of pressure. More pressure, like, noticeably. Yep. I'm surprised. Okay.
I don't think you're going to feel any changes in pressure or anything like that with the guns. It's more about the feel in the hand, that kind of stuff, than it is anything else. We can also try to put one of these guns on the end of this pressure washer just to see
what it does.
Because it could be the pressure washer that's better.
Yep.
Between the Yamatic and the McKillen's, was there any difference there? Did you feel anything that...
It feels better in your hand, the McKillen's.
Okay.
But that one doesn't feel bad either. That feels really good in the hand. Like, it really does. Okay. Like, I kind of forgot about that one from last time. Yeah. Feel a little more control. better.
Still
in the
feeling
hand.
more pressure from this one?
Yeah, I am.
Let's just switch the tips out.
Okay.
I'm kind of interested to see, those are
Just
all the
isolate it.
variables.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Actually, when it's, if you're just switching the tips on the end, you can
No
leave
big
the
deal.
system
Oh yeah,
on during that
'cause
stuff.
before the trigger, that makes sense.
Yep.
Just proving my beginnerness here.
No, it's all good.
No, it's night and day. Like this tip on the Ryobi feels like a lot more power.
Yeah.
Like,
So the Ryobi still, so even on that one,
yep, it
still-
felt significantly
Okay.
less. Yep.
Let me-
Interesting.
put a quick connect on this. Which one is your favorite aftermarket gun?
I think it's still the McKillen's. Like it definitely feels the best. I like the active. It feels pretty good in the hand. It's a good short throw. No, that feels pretty good. I'm a fan. All three of them feel, or I guess four of them now, all four of them feel pretty good. Of course there's differences, but.
So let's throw the McKillen's on this one, I guess.
Okay.
So now you're gonna have a swivel on this one because those all have swivels where the Ryobi
Nice.
doesn't. So we're isolating. We're finding out, is it the machine? Is it the gun?
Yep, or
What
is
are we looking at?
or is it the pressure behind it?
Yep.
Yeah, gun feels good. I mean, the McKillen's feels the best in the hand for
Okay.
sure.
So,
But pressure's there. Yeah.
so is it the pressure washer that's giving you the most kick then?
It's got to be.
Yep, okay.
Because we've done enough different tests now. Like.
You're just keeping all this stuff in your head, your tabulation of what you would do at this point, right?
Yep.
All right, so the next part is we will test all of the foam cannons.
Yep.
And we'll use the Ryobi one on the Ryobi system too, so you can see like if I bought nothing, what would it be like?
Yep.
We're gonna start with a detail co.
That's
because
right.
I have that already in a foam cannon. The first one we're gonna use is the MJJC Foam Cannon S V3. This is gonna be very similar to the Quiver cannon, same company. The MJJCs are basically just known as the foam kings. That's what they are. So these should perform really, really well with every single soap. We are gonna use the same soap in all of the foam cannons though, so we don't wanna use it all. We just wanna use a little bit on each one, kind of get a feel for it.
Cool.
The back panel to start with is gonna be a Ryobi
Okay.
with the MJJC Foam Cannon S. And we're gonna talk a little bit about what you can do for adjustments. So one of the things that's gonna be, all the aftermarket foam cannons are gonna have 3 levels of adjustment, except for the McKillen's. So this is more soap up here or less soap.
Okay.
They're all gonna be set at maximum soap. We're gonna do that. Then you've got, on the other ones, an adjustment to do the spray pattern if it's going horizontal or vertical.
Okay.
And then there's this fan pattern on the end. This is one thing you won't have in Ryobi.
Okay.
You won't be able to adjust the fan pattern because it doesn't have that ability. And you won't be able to adjust the horizontalness, I want to say, on the McKillen's.
Okay.
But it has the fan adjustment, which is more important to getting good foam. This one will make the fan pattern go like wider or
Okay.
narrower, and then get the right kind of foam that you're looking for.
Cool. Okay, pointing it down.
Right there is good.
Okay.
Yep. And then we'll just put it on the panel.
Okay. We're doing top to bottom.
Yeah, top to bottom, nice and easy. It does smell good.
Yeah, it
Top to
does.
bottom, and,
Yeah.
yep. Slower if you want. So you want to cover it pretty good, but you don't want to have to go over it multiple times. You want to save it, but this is about just seeing how much foam is getting on there. Let's bring the camera in here a little bit so you can see the thickness of the foam. Go ahead and go over that one more time.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, so you can see the thickness of that foam with this cannon and the Ryobi and what that looks like. It should be pretty similar with the Westinghouse,
Sure.
but lots of foam with what you did there. If we look at where we started with 900 milliliters, we still have a ton of this left. That's a big advantage. And again, we'll see that between all the different foam cannons, including the one that comes with the system.
Cool.
So let's take the end of this off and put it onto the Westinghouse. And so the interest of time and money, but
Emphasis on the money. You know.
basically just time, because Collin really liked the McKillen's gun, we're gonna stick with that for the foam test on the Westinghouse going
Yep.
forward with all the foam cannons. That was
Cool.
his favorite one, so that's one he would choose.
Yep.
And we're gonna go from there. So now we're gonna see with the McKillen's and the MJJC Foam Cannon S.
Cool. I mean,
not quite as good as
comparable.
that one was,
Yeah.
but so it might be about how much water is being put through the system, by the Ryobi. That's probably what's going on here. It's about the
that
water.
makes sense.
But let's switch foam cannons here really quick. For fun, let's do the Ryobi next.
Okay.
So same solution. There's about 100 milliliters in here. Let's see how fast you go through that.
Okay.
So Ryobi, again, adjustment-wise, it's gonna only have the soap adjustment, and you can go horizontal or vertical, but there's no fan adjustment. There's no filter at the bottom either. Oh, there is, but it's inside my foam cannon. So there's a filter, but I think we'll be all right this time around. I'll have to get that out of there at some point. It does have a quick connect though, so that's nice. Let's see what we got, and the door number 2. And your door is saying, hey, you're locking up.
Yeah.
So actually the foam was pretty good. And I did note that the foam was pretty decent with this cannon.
Yeah.
Out of the box, it's just you go through the solution super fast.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's the major disadvantage, that you can't adjust the foam pattern, but it is a pretty good foam cannon out of the box.
Yeah.
You have a little bit more to use, go for it, I guess. It is a little more watery, I guess, than some of the other ones.
Yeah.
Not quite as foamy.
Foamy.
But we are at the end of the solution, so that might be why.
Sure.
All right, let's try the next foam cannon. These all have different orifice sizes too, so there's some things to be said about that. But I'm trying to give them to you as you would get them out of the box. So we have about 100 milliliters there as well. And then the McKillens, again, you can adjust the amount of foam and you can adjust the fan pattern, but you can't go up or down, left or right. But that doesn't really matter because you're mostly going horizontal anyway.
Sure.
So I don't actually think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, did okay. Nothing wild.
Yeah, not too bad.
No.
Tip it back a little bit, because what I noticed is because this one doesn't have a ball in the bottom,
The solution.
the solution was in the front. All right,
Yeah, a little better.
let's try it with the Ryobi and see how that goes.
Okay.
That's a lot better.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, I mean, that's what I expect foam
To look like?
to look like.
All right.
Yep.
Now this is the Quiver cannon. Advantage.
got a ball.
It's got the ball at the bottom. It's got a complete adjustability front to back. Easy, quick disconnect as well. Basically an MJJC. This should give you similar foam to what we saw in the 3.0.
Yep, that looked pretty foamy.
Pretty good stuff.
Yep.
There we go. All right, that cannon's $65.
Yeah.
Raincovo, same thing, full adjustability all the way along. Made of a little bit more brass potentially, and it does actually have a secret feature of being able to change out the foam pad that's inside here more easily, because you can unscrew that, which is nice.
Gotcha.
It's a little more plastic on this one maybe, but still pretty decent, I would say.
Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah,
Not as thick.
yeah, but not bad.
Not bad. Okay. Now we're talking.
What are you thinking right now? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. On the pressure washers, Ryobi.
Yes.
Like, absolutely.
So Ryobi with the Ryobi foam cannon, or would you upgrade the foam cannon so far?
Just the adjustability. I didn't think that was something I was going to care about, but yeah, like you want some adjustability.
And then would you, like, hose-wise and stuff, is Ryobi performing pretty well hose-wise? I mean, we haven't done a full wash, so maybe you'll get a feeling for that.
Right. As far as right now, yeah, hose feels fine.
Okay. So we'll have you wash this down with both pressure washers.
Okay.
And then that might give you some thoughts too, like
Sure.
as you're washing something off.
Okay, that one, it felt good, but it wasn't taking the foam off as quick as I might have expected, but my only calibration is, like a self-serve car wash. Yeah, I don't know. Like, that feels like it's taking even more effort to get the foam off. Okay, so, I mean, it makes sense. It's like more gallons per minute out of the Ryobi, like That makes perfect sense. So the Ryobi definitely rinsed a lot easier than the Westinghouse. Back to the guns, like it was good to compare them again. Definitely the Macmillan's, like if you're doing this a lot or with some frequency, less fatigue, easier in your hand. You can tell it's a $90 gun. I'm amazed how little of difference I've been able to feel between all of them. I mean, there's definitely some nuanced things, but maybe I'm just really biased now because I'm like, man, that Ryobi is such a good setup all the way around.
Active, same thing. It's more rubberized, got a nice big bottom, easy to grab, all stainless steel, complete adjustability.
And this is nice, I'm gonna say, like.
It is, because you don't have to find a place to put it.
Yep, I'm not gonna lose it in the grass, as I would. Went through the soap pretty quick. Like
yeah.
It definitely pulled a lot, but not bad foam.
So that second, it was much better, but we're out of foam, out of solution. But for that beginning, it was quite good.
Perfect.
Yes. Yep. So just to be interesting, we'll start with that cannon on the way back
next time. Yeah. Yep, makes sense.
All right, we're gonna rinse them all out really quick so it's fair, and then we'll be back. Okay, we just washed out all the cannons, so they're all ready to go again. One thing we noted in between was all of the aftermarket cannons I have are wide mouth versus the Ryobi, which is not.
Yeah.
So to clean it out, they were a little bit easier.
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, just doing that exercise of cleaning out the foam cannons, I was like, yeah, I was telling Ben, I was like, I'd upgrade to a better foam cannon just based on that.
This is the $10 Atom soap.
Oh.
I'll have you rinse this down really quick with whatever one we're gonna do. I think we're just doing Ryobi going forward. Is that what you decided?
I think so. I'm so impressed by just how it's doing. Like,
yeah, it is doing really well. And it is a more expensive pressure washer, but you would assume you're just paying for the accessories, so.
Yeah,
It's a good test. All right, so I'll have you rinse that down while I get the active ready first.
Okay.
This is now the Adams wash. This is $10 at Walmart.
Pretty good foam.
That's pretty thick. All right,
Fatal
so
flaw.
I would say the active, pretty good.
Yeah, yep,
That was
really
decent.
good. Okay, good, not great. I mean, a little watery.
The Adams soap's pretty good, actually, for foaming. Not bad.
Not bad. I mean, it's crazy seeing the difference between the two panels. Like,
It is.
Like that's,
yeah, I mean, look at the active
amazing.
one. Still is going to be pulling and activating and doing stuff. This is kind of done at this point.
Yep.
Yeah. Thoughts?
Good. I mean, I'll be curious to see how long it holds the foam. But no, that was good.
That one's, again, $55, just trying to remind you of all the pricing and whatever, but you don't have that. You can get these injector tubes that are like that with a weighted ball, so you could add that to that cannon if you wanted to.
Gotcha. Yep. Yeah, that's a good foam cannon. The Quiver, I love the ergonomics on the bottom of the bottle. Like, just your hand just fits right into it.
Do you feel it's any different than the active or better than the active? Worse, same?
I feel like it's comparable.
Okay. And it's less expensive too, $64.
Yeah. Yep.
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. It's got that steel ball, a lot of adjustability.
All right, we got to clean them out and go for the next round.
Let's do it.
All right, now that we've been through 2 soaps and all the foam cannons and 2 pressure washers and multiple guns, are there any foam cannons you would just eliminate at this point and say this is not what I would go with?
Ryobi gun's fine. Ryobi foam cannon's another story. The Raincovo's good, but I don't think it's as good as the Quiver.
Okay.
I mean, I can't remember the exact price difference, but
About $30.
okay, yeah. I like the Quiver. I mean, I'd say that's my favorite one so far. Like,
All right, well, let's just test the Quiver then, since you've kind of picked that
narrowed
one.
it down.
Yeah.
Cool.
So now we're gonna be doing the Armour Shampoo Plus High Foaming Shampoo. All right, Ryobi with the Armour Supply Shampoo Plus. So I would just, again, remind people that this is still a good, you're still getting suds, like
Yeah, it's
suds.
foaming. Yep.
It's foaming, it's pulling dirt off. It's just not sticking for very long, and you're using a lot of products very quickly. That is the problem with it. Yeah, you can double it up, and you can see that you'll be able to use, like, go around the entire vehicle. You might be able to almost get the whole vehicle with just that,
Yep.
which is crazy. Where that one, you would probably be out of it in half.
Yep. Definitely fluffs up a little more.
That's thick.
That is thick. Feels like spraying, like, I don't know,
Shaving cream from-
concrete or something. Yeah, like
That's thick foam right there.
shaving cream. Yeah, it's really thick.
All right, we got one to try.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's really good.
All right, so now that you've done a million different things, first of all, was this at all helpful for you as a beginner?
Oh,
What were your expectations coming in? Because what we
Absolutely.
talked about last time, we were talking about a really expensive system. You were upgrading everything,
yep.
and maybe we would have had the Ryobi not come along. But what are your thoughts? Where are we at?
Yeah, this was super helpful because it's like I could see myself just getting the Ryobi kit, just never knowing anything different, but being able to try out all the different foam cannons, all the different guns. Like, I grew to not mind the Ryobi gun at all. Like, that was fine. But as you can see here with the foam, like,
It's a big upgrade.
it's a big upgrade. Like, and just being able to, like, use less product,
Yes,
like,
it's going to save you money
it's
over
gonna
time.
save you money over time.
Yep.
Like, you know, so
Because the
yeah.
bottle, which of your shampoos is the one that you would be the one you would buy right now, based upon what you've seen?
Yeah, I think the pans did pretty good.
Yep.
I think that was probably the best.
Okay.
The Incredible Suds did really well.
Incredible Suds from DIY
Felt-
Detail?
Yeah, the Incredible Suds felt the same. Atoms for the price.
Yeah, not bad. All right, what one are you going to buy? Because you're about to, you have like a cart.
Yeah.
I feel like a
Yeah, no,
house
I
of rags
do.
and you're ready to hit buy.
Purely based on my comment earlier on the smell, I do the pans.
All right.
Purely for the smell, because there's that walk out into my garage. I live in a townhome, so my garage is very much like part of my house
Yeah.
still.
Fair.
You know, and
Yep.
I'm like, the smell, the Adams is a cough syrupy blueberry
So
smell.
it's worth the upgrade, even though it's a couple dollars more. Yep.
And I think, you know, again, if this were dirtier, maybe that'd be a better test to see, like, is this pulling more dirt off, you know, like.
It's true. Clean power,
you
that kind of
know,
thing.
like,
Yep. Yep.
But pans.
All right. So
Yeah.
you would go pans, and you could go whatever you want. You can use these results or use your own, but I would say buy a bottle and try whatever it is.
Yep.
And you just go from there and see what you think, and then you can buy another one to compare. So we have the light set up, all done. We tried a ton of products today. Again, don't recommend that everybody has to go out and do anything like that. But if you're in the Salt Lake City area and you do want to try something like this, try some of these products and see what's best for you, I think I'm up for that. And
Cool. Yeah.
Because what you think is best for you and what I think is best for
Totally.
me is
Very different things.
definitely different. Like, I would have picked a different setup than you, but that's me.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with that. What are you going to choose
Yeah.
for yourself in the end?
So, you know, as we kind of started out, I was feeling all these different guns, combinations with foam cannons, guns. After using the Ryobi, I was really impressed with it. I feel like it put the foam down the best between the Westinghouse and the Ryobi. The hose is bearable, wasn't bad. I was able to get all the way around the car.
Yep.
That's included with the package. I will say after using the foam cannon extensively, it was like, it became very apparent that
That's your upgrade.
You gotta upgrade the foam cannon.
I would agree. And you're going to use a lot more soap in that one, so you're going to actually spend more money in the long run on the soap. But in the end, the Quiver.
This one just, for whatever reason, honestly, for me, and this is going to sound silly, but it's like being able to put your palm here. It's got these grips. Just feels good. It felt really balanced with the Ryobi gun. I don't know. There's just some, maybe it's the teal. No.
Could be that too. I mean, sometimes that's part of it. It's designed. So I am Josh V, designed that foam cannon with MJJC, and I think this is the foam cannon I would recommend to most people who want a good quality, high quality foam cannon. It's going to last you a really long time, but you don't want to pay the premium price.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could really beat that. The Raincovo is nice at $35, but this is just a nicer foam cannon.
Yep.
So you just got to decide, is $30 worth that? To me it is, but it may not be to you. You also used the Lance.
Love the Lance. I will say it did feel like it added more pressure to it. Like
and everything's at the end too, so for sure. We saw that it definitely put out more water, had more pressure than the Westinghouse. So for $150, you were upgrading from about $30 to $40 over the Westinghouse, and you get usable accessories right out of the box.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely say so.
And then you also preferred the Clean by Pan shampoo.
Yep.
So a true beginner decided what they wanted, and I can't do
Here
it.
we are.
This is a beginner who doesn't have any of this stuff, and this is what he chose. So there you go. Let us know in the comments what questions you have for Collin, because Collin will look at the YouTube comments as well and be in there. Yep, for sure. So let us know what questions you have, and we'll answer those. There'll probably be more videos in this series as well as we move forward, for sure. I do want to do a wash clay seal on your vehicle to show you like what that would look, or your wife's vehicle or something like that.
Yeah.
And then if you do want to get the micro scratches and all that kind of stuff out of here, we can do the full polish, the whole enchilada, and ceramic coat it, and then see what you think of it afterwards as well.
Okay. Wow. That'd be something.
Let us know what you want to see Collin do on his Tacoma.
Yeah, seriously. Like, this is your canvas. Have at it. Like, let us know.
Let's see, what else?
Maybe we even get some enchiladas for the whole enchilada.
Yeah, we can have some enchiladas. Exactly. I like it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Remember, live your life in beta, meaning try new stuff and share it with other people. This is what I love doing this. This is so much fun. So you should try that too. If you learned something, share it with somebody else. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Live your life in beta. We'll see you next time.